Welcome back to the Bryce and Yubi podcast. I am your host, Yuban. Who do we got here?
You know, your boy Bryce, of course, in the flesh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, today, hopefully, the segment is not as long as the other one, which is like 2.5 hours. I know Bryce did some skimming and editing and stuff.
Yeah, I trimmed it
Um,
a little bit.
a little. Okay. Today we are going to be grading how post All Star NBA teams.
Of course. You,
Okay. First we're going to talk. Well, we're not going to talk about the All Star break because
butt
it was
cheeks.
boring. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Besides the dunk contest.
It was okay.
Yeah, the dunk contest was actually better than expected.
Yeah, I think Stephon Castle should have won, honestly.
No, actually, no. He took forever on that
Bro,
layup between the legs. That was nice. I'm
bro,
not gonna lie to
oh my
you.
god, that was so clean.
Yeah, it
That was
was.
the best dunk of the contest, in my opinion.
Not that first dunk by Matt got it, in my opinion. He jumped. Listen, he jumped over the actual car itself, whereas Blake only jumped over the hood, and then he had a guy right here, like had a ball, so he jumped
Yeah.
over the guy and the actual car, and then instead of just normal dunking it, and then he reversed it. Come on, bro. And that was like first or second try as well. Steph Castle took damn near forever to hit his dunk.
I don't know. I think the Steph one was, it was just
And
cleaner,
plus,
bro. It was just clean.
yeah, I mean, plus he took Steph Castle took forever to do his dunk. So
Yeah, that's fair.
all right. Moving away from that,
Of course.
let's start with our grades. So what team do we got first?
We'll start with the Wizards. Washington
Okay,
Wizards.
okay. What would you grade the Wizards?
A D minus.
A D minus.
Yeah. Because we
Okay,
all knew
the
they were
Wiz.
gonna be bad, but like
Mhm.
they just suck. Really.
I wouldn't be as harsh on the Wizards because they made some very interesting trades in the trade deadline. I don't know about like getting two veterans. I think they should have just bought them out
Yeah.
so that other teams like contenders could get them. Um, they made interesting trades. They got young players. They got picks. In exchange for Kyle Kuzma, who wasn't doing that well for them anyways, and wasn't really that young. I think they're trying to change and build a culture sort of like Detroit did. So that's why I won't be as harsh as them. I wouldn't say D minus. I would say, I mean, the record is awful. I know.
Yeah.
I would say maybe a C minus. I'll give them a C minus.
Hmm.
I'll
I
give them a C
just
minus. All right.
I'm pretty sure their defense is like horrible and like they have no direction
Okay.
and like they just like
Yeah.
and I feel like they got
I
rid of
think
Kyle Kuzma because Kyle Kuzma's a fine role player, but like when he's your number one or number two option, like obviously he's gonna suck. So
I think they're really wanting to build around whoever they're going to draft this year instead of
mhm.
Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
Understand Jordan Poole he's a great young player, but he's just not someone you want to build your franchise around. And I think the Wizards have realized that right
Yeah.
now.
I don't even know if Jordan Poole will be a Wizard next year with his contract
It
and like
Yeah, he's getting the bag, isn't he?
like 30 some million.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
bag for.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Jordan
yeah.
Jordan Poole should not be the best player on any team in the National Basketball Association. He's just not that good.
Yeah, no,
He's a,
you're right.
he's a great, maybe third, fourth best player on a championship team. He
He'd be a
can't be
really
the
good
best
six
player.
man.
Yeah, awesome six man. Yeah, okay. So what's the average of that if we average it out?
Like a D
Like
plus.
you gave the Wizards a C minus, no, a D minus, and then I said, okay, so D plus. The Wizards get a D plus.
Yeah.
Okay. Next team,
Charlotte.
Hornets. I'm gonna be more harsh on the Hornets because what are they doing?
I actually thought they were gonna make the play in. Like I thought like they were gonna be like okay, and they really disappointed.
Which is, yeah. So now them being like, have they even won 15 games yet?
13.
Yeah, they are 13 games, and we have played over 50 games.
Yeah. 54
Yeah.
ish. Yeah. It's
So I'm
rough.
gonna be really harsh on the Hornets here. I'm gonna give them a D.
They have the worst record in the last 10 games in the NBA. So
And the reason for my D is okay. First of all, pause. Brandon Miller is Brandon Miller is out for the year with his injury. Lamelo's on and off. Like he's great when he's on the court, but when he's off, like the team drops off considerably. Plus, talking about what they did during in the trade deadline, trading for Dalton, and then it just completely falling through after Mark Williams failed the Lakers physical. Now Mark Williams is like questionable with the team. Like he doesn't want to play for them anymore.
I think Dalton would have been a
I
good
mean
trade
that
for
just
them.
I mean, Mark Williams, he's a young, good player, and he's like someone
Doesn't
that you
play.
like. You feel like, I mean, I mean, bro, come on, Lamelo doesn't play, Brandon Miller doesn't play. Like they're really relying on what Miles Bridges. Come on, bro, we're not relying on Miles Bridges.
Yep, that's yeah, it's rough.
No,
I
like
agree. I
Hornets,
mean, honestly, I would give them an F,
it.
but
I would actually, they really should get an F because questionable front office, questionable organization, questionable players. I mean, when they're there, they're good, but when they're not, it's you can see how bad they suck.
yeah, it's fair. So yeah,
So
I'm
and
gonna give them
then
an F.
yeah, direction is
I
yeah.
had
I will second that F. I will
I
second that
could have
F.
saw them like fighting for a play-in spot, but now they're like horrible. Like
Yeah, it's like where are they going
the
even?
roster
Even
isn't
if
like
they're in the
terrible. like it's just like the players don't play. So like
at the very least, if they get a good player in this draft, then there's some hope for them.
yeah,
Like I think they just decided to shut it down for this season because there's no hope for them making any noise when it
mm-hmm.
comes to title contention.
Yeah.
So you might as well just shut it down and hope for a player like Flag or Bailey or Harper
Originally,
to
I
help.
liked their coaching signing of Charles Lee because from the Celtics. I mean, I thought he would bring some winning culture, but I guess not.
Nope. I it's I think when when you're like coming from a winning organization to something like that, unless you're like a miracle worker, like someone like Ime Udoka,
Mm-hmm.
you you can't you can't win in that like short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like Udoka was like kind of an what do you call it? Like he was kind of an exception to the rule. Someone like Charles, if he's okay, he was asked, right? He wasn't, how do I say this? Charles Lee wasn't asked to like, okay, let's win now. No, his objective is to sort of like implement a culture and sort of
Yeah,
just win over the years instead of just the short term.
and I don't think he's done that.
No, not now, but we'll see. I mean, they have a bright future
Well, they're also
if
kind of
they're
harsh on their coaches. They don't usually. I don't know if he's
yeah
gonna get another chance, especially with
if they're
how bad they are. Like no
yeah no,
improvement whatsoever. Like not even a little bit. All
it's a
right,
questionable organization.
so we give him a what F?
I
Yep.
at first I was a little nice and I gave him a D, but now I feel like they don't have any hope, so I'll give him an F.
Yeah. All right, Toronto.
I give Toronto a. They're what are they the 12th seed?
13.
13.
They are ever so slightly
Uh
above Charlotte.
I'll give them I'll give them a D.
Yeah,
I like
I
I
agree.
like I like them trading for Brandon Ingram. Um, trying to help build around Scotty. I feel like I mean they need something like they needed
Mm-hmm.
a little push, and I feel like Brandon Ingram provided them that. Plus they weren't like what they traded for him wasn't that much, so I like that trade. This season though has not been a good one for the Raptors.
I
Let's
don't
just
know
say
why
that.
they suck. I feel like it's a coaching like upper management issue because like if you think about it, the starting five of Quickly, RJ, Brandon Ingram, Scotty, and Jakob Poeltl is not bad at all.
Well, there's a lot of teams that have good starting lineups on paper and then just end up being
Yeah, I don't.
underwhelming.
I think RJ like might be the
Like
problem.
future teams, Sixers.
Well,
Yeah, there's
they've
a lot of.
also
I mean,
dealt with a lot of injuries, but I think they were fully healthy. They'd be like better than what they are, but like that's we'll get to them.
plus also I saw on TikTok where the coach, I forgot his name, but he's some European dude, saying that
Darko
Barnes is gonna,
something.
yeah, he should be the face of the league. Like he was adamant on saying that Scotty Barnes is gonna be a top five player. He's gonna be the face of the league. I wouldn't say either of those, but I'm inclined to believe that the Toronto Raptors have a very bright future.
Bro's talking like Nico Harrison. It's bad. But yeah, I
So,
give Toronto like on paper
what did I say?
good. You said D.
Did I say?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
I'll say
agree
D.
with
Okay,
you. They're just
okay, okay, I'll give
they
them a
have
D.
no
Okay, good.
direction. They just
I agree.
they're just like
They're just
floating.
meh. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. All right,
All right, Brooklyn.
what are they doing?
What do you mean? What are they doing?
It's a,
Actually,
okay,
you know what? I'm gonna sit up here. I'm gonna say they get a C plus.
okay. I love their front office moves. When it came to Mikal Bridges, getting what they got for him, they got what did they get? They get 5 firsts for Mikal.
Yeah.
Okay, I love some of their front office moves, and then I hate some of their front office moves. Like,
Like
okay, like for example, not trading Cam Johnson. He's damn near 30 years old, and he's been having one of his best seasons.
yeah.
And to just keep him like gatekeep him there for like what? Like get some value off of
I
him. Get
mean,
some
they did the
picks.
same
Get
thing
something.
with Mikal Bridges last season. He should have been traded at the deadline last year, and they
But
kind of
they
kept
kind
him.
of waited and then they got the really good value.
Yeah, maybe they're gonna do that again. They're seeing if
I
who they're
don't.
gonna get in the draft, and if Cam Johnson, who probably doesn't fit what they're doing, they'll probably deal him off.
Also, them trading away Dennis Schroeder for like what? What did they trade? They didn't trade him for basically nothing.
The Anthony
And
Melton
Dennis,
seconds.
come on, bro. That's a bag of chips right there.
Yeah,
No disrespect to Millen.
he's injured too. He
Schroeder,
hasn't played all year.
yeah, yeah. Schroeder has he was having one of his best seasons with the
Mm,
Nets, and then he came to the yeah he was what he was averaging like what 17 or something. He was balling for the Nets. Then
yep.
he came to the Warriors, ended yeah, and the Warriors ended up now he's in Detroit in a great situation. Okay, now going back to the Nets,
Actually, I say I give him a
over
C. Honestly, not a C plus. I'll give him a C.
for what like
I thought they were gonna be the worst team in the league. The roster like is bad. And they are right there for a playing spot. I don't think they should be trying to contend.
why are they yeah that's
But
why
like
are they trying to
they're
do that?
outperforming expectations, and I like what they're doing in the front office. They are going into the offseason with the most amount of cap space, which is what they need. So I approve of what they're doing. I mean, if my team was this bad, I wouldn't be mad if they were doing this.
I think they're kind of learning from their mistakes. What
Yeah,
they did with remember them trading for Paul Pierce and Garnett
even the
all
big
those
three,
years
the
ago.
KD, Kyrie,
Yeah,
and
then,
yeah,
yeah, then they did it again.
yeah.
So now they're trying to stockpile picks so that they can,
Homegrown
yeah,
some players.
hopefully.
Yeah,
You know, front office, I wouldn't give them that special grade, but just in this, I wouldn't say C. I would say, okay, let's average it out to a C minus. I'll give them a D plus, so we can average it out to a C minus.
that's fair enough.
All right, next team,
Philly.
Philly. Oh no.
It's not an
Philly,
F, but like it's really bad.
yeah,
They nailed
like
the draft. Tyrese Maxey is really good, and they got some pieces, but like bro, it's still something somewhere in the D's.
F. I'm giving them an F.
Yeah,
Like you're right, they did nail the draft, but they're no F minus. The reason why I'm giving it an F minus, yeah, they did nail the draft, but their start, like the best rookie, got injured, and he's out for like what the entire season now.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I seen his TikToks and YouTube videos. I think he can walk or something. Like he can walk, but I
I
don't
don't know
think
if
he's
he's gonna
nowhere
play.
near. Yeah, I don't think he's nowhere near condition to play. Also the player that they gave $200 million to
Sucks.
is very underwhelming.
Yeah, I saw something that Kai Cenat scored more points in his last game than Paul George.
What
That's funny.
did he score like 2 points in that celebrity game?
Yeah. No, Kai Cenat scored four. Paul George scored two.
Oh, he scored four. Oh, my fault, Kai. My fault, Kai.
And Drewski.
Um. Oh yeah, Drewski hit a three, didn't he? Or he hit two threes or something.
He hit a three and then he hit a free throw, I think. Something like that.
Okay. Moving away from the All Star celebrity game. Paul George has been okay. It's not only Paul George. That's been underwhelming. Joel Embiid has missed a ton of games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the team just seems dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know what
like,
they're doing.
obviously I've seen the clip of Kelly Oubre screaming at Joel Embiid. Um, when Joel tried to confront him about like it almost gave like it gave kind of the energy of like, bro, why are you talking like, bro? You've been playing like what
Yeah.
2 games and yeah, so like, who are you to press up on me? So when I see that, it makes it feel kind of it makes me think that the organization is dysfunctional.
Yeah. And Kelly
Like
Oubre's been
they,
playing
they
well, and then Joel Embiid comes in and like, obviously he's better than Kelly Oubre, but he's kind of not playing like he's supposed to. He's supposed to be like that guy, and he hasn't been that at all.
it's, and I think Joel Embiid is kind of scared that he'll get injured again. And obviously we see NBA players be like, okay, nowhere throughout the whole season am I 100%. So that's why they would miss a lot of games and stuff.
Yeah.
But to this degree, it's crazy, Joel.
Yeah.
Like, bro, they need you. Like at this point, if like why did you play in the Olympics
I don't
if
think he should have,
if you were gonna
especially for
yeah
USA. Like what?
well okay that's a whole different controversy.
But
Um, like why did you play in general? Because Joel Embiid like what you played less than 20 games this entire year and your team has been really underwhelming all at the price so that you can get a gold medal. Like you should have just rested at that point for real. Like if it's affecting your health, like go take a seat. The U.S. can win gold without you.
I think Joel Embiid's a really good player, but at the end of the day, I don't
Hmm.
think winning is his biggest concern. Like winning a
You don't think
championship.
Joel?
Like I don't think winning a championship's on. Like he tried his best, he got his MVP, and now look at him. He got his MVP, he got his
I
gold
mean,
medal. Like he's probably
what
gonna
you
be a
think?
Hall of Famer, but like
You think after winning that MVP, he's just gonna sit down, eat a burger, and just enjoy life?
What has he done since MVP?
What is he? What?
What has he done since he won the MVP?
Joe. Okay, listen. Joel Embiid has never made the conference finals.
I know. I don't think like he gets his own and he goes home.
A lot of it is on Joel Embiid because he's the leader of the franchise, but a lot of it is on the coaching and like the staff and also teammates. It's not just Joel Embiid. But he's a lot of the blame should go on him though
Philly
because
needs to
he's.
move on from him, honestly.
I don't think Philly's gonna move on from Joel
They need to
Embiid.
move
But
on in
then
a
again,
different direction.
anything could happen. Anything can happen.
Tyrese Maxey's the
Say that.
future, in my opinion.
Yeah, because Joel Embiid is like 30.
Even if he wasn't,
Hmm.
he's just a cancer to that team. I don't know.
Yeah, he's been acting like a diva.
No, I'm not messing with it. All right.
Um, over
So
overall though,
yeah,
from like
we can give him an F.
yeah,
They had like title aspirations and they kind of
yeah, and they have a
suck.
great team on paper. So
Yeah. They've been better as of late, but like F.
come on, bro. They should be at least at the very like even if we said before the season that Philly shouldn't be like that Philly was the fifth seed. Let's just say that we would still be kind of like wanting more
Like that'd be a hot
from
take,
Philly.
yeah.
Yeah, and now seeing them outside of the play-in tournament,
Yeah, at 11, they're 2 games behind Chicago. 2.5.
that's yeah, it's disappointing.
Yeah, it's bad. Speaking of them,
Mhm.
okay, so we give Philly F.
F
Yeah,
minus,
yeah,
minus. Boy, I think Philly's going to be the worst graded team on this list.
yeah. Now we got Chicago, who give Zach Levine away for what if like say like a half-eaten bagel, a leftover or something, bro. Like, bro, that was bad.
You know, I think the Chicago Bulls are just a team that like if if you want to finesse a team, let it be the Chicago Bulls.
They're okay with
Like
mediocrity.
okay. Say the Spurs and the Kings were talking about okay, well let's do a Fox trade and then the Kings were like, well we want something in return. Well, the Spurs are like, oh let's call Chicago see if they give Zach Levine that like what did they the Bulls got nothing.
They got their own pick back, and then they got Zach Collins,
Come on,
Trey
bro.
Jones, and City Sahoko or something.
No, Sissoko was immediately moved.
I don't know. It was a third player,
I mean, even yeah.
something
Um,
like that.
so they got nothing,
Nothing.
and in return they gave up their best player. And Zach Levine said that he loved Chicago.
Man.
I mean,
Oh, it's Chris
I understand
Duarte. Chris Duarte.
I
Even then.
I understand the Bulls want to move on from Zach Levine and build towards. My camera's not focused.
Yeah, mine's been like doing whatever it's doing, but oh well.
I understand, bro. It's not. It's bothering me now. Okay, here we go. No, ah. Okay, let me move back a little bit. Why is it not focusing?
I think it's. I don't know.
There we go. I understand that the Bulls want to move on from Zach Levine, but doing it like this is questionable. Like they really got finessed.
Yeah, it was. They had no business even being
Uh,
in the Aaron Fox trade.
Also, talking about this year, they should have traded Vucevic,
Oh
whose
yeah.
stock is at an all-time high because he's having a great year.
Hmm.
But they didn't,
But like,
and they're not really competitive. Like if you like, even if the Bulls make the play-in, say if you're the ninth seed, like who's the ninth seed right now?
Miami.
Yeah, if you're Miami and you're not really scared when you're looking at the Bulls at one
Hmm.
in the play-in.
Yeah.
So the Bulls are not really a threat
But I
per
think the
se.
Bulls have the same thought process as you. Is Vucevic is having a career year, so like they're thinking he's
Well, are they
valuable.
trying to be competitive? Absolutely
But
not.
no,
Oh yeah, he
the Bulls are thinking, okay, Vucevic is playing really well. We want a lot for him, and teams aren't giving him that because he's Vucevic.
but Zach Levine was playing well. What did they get from a bag of chips?
I mean, is their front office good? No.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
awful.
I think if they would
Among
have
the
got a
worst.
Zach Levine type package for Vucevic, they would have. And I think teams look at Chicago and they're like, okay, you got your own pick back, and you got 3 very mediocre players for Zach Levine. Vucevic is worth even less than that. And
Do
Chicago's
you
like,
think any
oh,
teams
I'm not
even
giving up for. So
do you think any teams even called about
I'm sure.
Vucevic?
I'm sure LA probably called.
Yeah, but
I'm
I'm
sure
sure
teams
Chicago.
called, but like
Yeah, because
his
Palinka.
contract and like what they would want, I understand why they didn't trade him.
I really don't think Vucevic would be a good fit on the Lakers at all.
I mean, he's better than nothing.
Yeah, he's better than Hayes, but like, um, what a slower, really bad defensive point guard. Um, and I mean Austin Reeves, he's not the best defender, and Vucevic, who is also not the best defender for a center. I mean that team is gonna stink on defense.
Well,
That team would stink. Plus the
depending
enormous
what
amount
they
of
would
money
have to
that
give up, I
Vucevic.
don't think it would be terrible.
I mean, plus the enormous amount of. I
He
don't think that would
spaces
have
the
been a good team.
floor pretty well. I
I mean,
mean,
but Palinka said that the big man market was dry.
yeah.
Before the Mark Williams trade, that's what he said when he was sitting down and they was asking about that in the press conference. But okay, we've talked a lot about the front office. Let's talk about the actual play in the franchise. Bulls have been
Bad.
mediocre.
Well, they're well below 500, but yes, they've been.
I mean, for the talent they have,
Which
they have good young pieces, but they don't. It's not great.
somewhat.
Yeah, and also the Bulls have been one of the most least fun teams to watch.
Yeah, I would never tune into a Bulls game, like ever.
Yeah, unless I was a Bulls fan, and I'm not.
I think Modest
So,
Buzelis is like okay. I don't think he'll be like anything special. Like
so what
Josh
would you
Giddey's
give the Bulls?
fine. I think, like a D.
A B,
D.
D.
Yeah,
I'll give it a
just.
D plus. So we'll say D,
But
average. Sure.
you haven't said one positive thing.
They have good young pieces. That's a positive thing. And kaput.
Fair
That's
enough.
it.
Fair enough. All right, Miami.
Ooh, okay. Well, they rid themselves of the diva, of the drama queen
Of course, of course.
that I know all too well in Minnesota. Other than that, Bam has been having an outrageously bad season. He's not even average. Wait. I looked up the stats. He's averaging 15.7 points on bad efficiency for Bam's standards.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so who's gonna pick up the load? Tyler Hero's gonna pick up the load.
Oh, he's been really well,
He's,
really good.
yeah, he's. I mean, he's been named an All-Star, deservedly so, and it shows in his playing style. He's really. I think he took a step up because the team needed him to take a step up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So, other than Tyler Hero, I don't love their other pieces.
yeah. The team. I mean, I think this is just an off year for Bam. I think with all the drama, I mean, I'm very high on Bam. He's one of my favorite
I'm kind
players.
of confused. Okay, with the Heat in their franchise, I'm kind of confused where they're going. Are they trying to compete for a championship because they're not there yet?
I think this offseason will tell. Like,
Hmm.
it's not like they have like super old good players, so it's not like they can just dump people off. Like they're kind of just in no
I
man's
mean,
land at the moment.
yeah, but
I
they're
think they are trying to
certainly they can.
compete.
Yeah, they can certainly get like a sixth, fifth seed in the playoffs, and maybe I mean at the very, very most, if they overperform like they did in the Jimmy Butler days,
I
they
also
can
don't
they can
hate
make
the
some noise.
Jimmy Butler trade. Like I think Andrew Wiggins is like not bad. Like I am a fan of Andrew
Yeah, I mean
Wiggins.
Jimmy Butler wasn't gonna play for the rest of the season if
Yeah,
I'm speculating if they didn't trade him ASAP.
yeah. So I
So
think
I'm not saying I hate the trade,
they're
but I'm
one
saying
piece away. One piece, like one really good piece away.
I disagree with that. I think they're multiple
I
pieces away.
mean, we've heard Kevin Durant on the trade block, and if they can find a way to get KD, Hero, and Bam might be a team.
No, the Suns are one of the most expensive. No, they are the most expensive team in the NBA, and I don't know how they would make the money work. Second of all, I don't know if they're willing to give up because trading away Kevin Durant is like okay, we're done being contenders. Like let's just move a completely different way.
They're
Like we
not
gave up we
contenders.
gave up we gave up all those young assets and picks for nothing basically because really what did the Suns do? The furthest they got was the second round and they lost to Denver in Game 6 in the KD book era.
Yeah,
That's the furthest they ever got.
yeah, they are.
So how would you look yourself in the mirror if you were the Suns franchise and you haven't even made the conference finals with this uber talented team you got with two of the best scorers of all time? How would you look yourself in the mirror? That's why I don't see them trading
Uh,
KD away because I think they're in denial.
who?
The Suns.
Two of the best scorers of all time,
Okay, KD is my best scorer of all time.
but two, Booker,
D Book can take. I'm saying like he's up there. I mean,
all time.
yes,
That is an absurd take,
he's.
but
I mean,
okay,
I would say D Book's like a top 30 scorer of all time, at the very
okay, but
least.
yeah, sure, maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but yeah, I mean, the Heat are just existing right now. They're kind of just they're okay
No,
with being good
okay.
at the moment. They've always been mid. They've never been good in
Yeah,
regular season, like ever.
yeah. It's just they're overperforming in the playoffs, and
Yeah.
I think without that Jimmy Butler, without Jimmy Butler being on their team, they're just not gonna do that anymore.
Hopefully, with Andrew
Cause,
Wiggins, they kind of because they are better than what their record says, but they're slightly below
but
500.
look at the other teams in the East. Like they are not like from teams 1 through 5, they have no chance of beating
Yeah,
in the East.
but
Zero.
they're
So
not too far behind Orlando and Atlanta. So
when it comes to talent or just
record.
record.
But,
Okay, well I feel like okay, well Orlando's gonna pick it up, but Atlanta I feel like they're not far behind in terms of talent.
so what do you
Okay,
give
but we
Miami?
can. I overall I'm gonna give Miami a very reluctant
C,
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 C. They're just
a
there.
very reluctant C.
Yeah,
But depending how it could go up and down. Um, I feel like we should do another one of these
yeah. I'm sure we'll have one
in
in
later.
like
Yeah.
playoff time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Atlanta,
ATL. They are the what?
8 seed,
Eighth seed at what?
26 and 29.
Okay. There was some buzz in Atlanta about no, actually there was no buzz, but okay, okay. Um
What are they doing? That's my question. Like with Chicago, like what are they doing here? Like
yeah, Atlanta's been always one of those teams that can compete for a play-in spot, but has just really never
Like I feel
done
like
more
Atlanta's
than that.
gonna make the playoffs. Like they do it every year. They make the 8 seed every year, and they just get like whether they
They
play
get
Boston
bounced.
or Cleveland, like maybe 5, maybe 6 if they're lucky. But like they aren't competitive. Like I think they need to move on from Trey Young. As I am a huge Trey Young fan, I love Trey Young, and I feel like they're just wasting him at this point.
I think that's kind of soon. I think they should continue building around Trae Young because he's rather young, and he's only just going to enter his prime in his next few years.
I think at the trade deadline they should have. I feel like there should have been a market for Clint Capella.
Yeah, certainly they
Like the
they had
Lakers
a
should have
better.
called for Clint Capella.
I'm
He
pretty sure they did. I mean,
he runs.
I think
He's
Rob.
fairly athletic. He runs the floor. He plays good defense. He's a good rebounder. I feel like that's what they kind of need over there. So
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I just feel like
I
the
think there's a
Hawks were
lot of
unwilling
teams
to.
that could have used. Like the Warriors could probably use a Clint Capella. The Suns could have used a Clint Capella. The Lakers could
Yeah,
use a Clint
I mean the
Capella.
Warriors. The Warriors are starting Quinn and Post.
Yeah, like this is bad. There's a lot of teams like I don't know.
Okay, here's what I have to feel about the Hawks. The Hawks the Hawks. I feel like they're just content of like where they're at, and I don't like that for the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
They've seen younger teams pass them up in the standings. Like for example, the Magic were
Orlando.
considerably yeah, they were considerably better. I mean, they were considerably worse than the Hawks, like maybe 2, 3 years ago. But see how they drafted well with Paolo and Franz and Jalen Suggs, and then hiring Jamal Mosley, and then him building the culture, and then boom, all you know, like now they're taking the Cavs to 7 games in the playoffs, and they have a really really bright future. What has Atlanta done in the meantime?
Well, I don't think that
Like,
coach.
tell me,
I don't think their coach is horrible. Quinn Snyder is not horrible, and I
no,
don't think they've
what has
necessarily drafted bad. Like they hit the
tell
Jalen
me
Johnson pick. Like
what
they hit the
have they
Trae Young
done in the
pick.
meantime?
Like I think they're just like I don't know. Like they just don't have enough talent. Like necessarily done bad. They just don't have enough. They don't. They
What
haven't got
has
like the luck. They don't have like they don't have like a. They have a good coach, but they don't have like a culture. Like it's kind of just like
No, my question to you is what have the Hawks done in these last few years that have just been that has legitimately set them up for title contention akin to like what the Magic are doing?
I mean, I don't think they've done like anything to like push their title hopes, but I think that they
Because that's what you want, right? Trae Young wants a title.
well, every team wants a title. That's the goal.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I
But
think they've
Trae
done as
Young wants
much
to
as they
like
can. Like they hit the Jalen Johnson pick, and he was what outside the lottery. Like he's a very good player, but like they just like I don't know. They're just it's their
they've been getting
defense.
bounced. They've been getting bounced in the first round every year since 2021.
Yeah, something dramatic needs to change. Whether
Yeah. And I
it
I
could be a
would if
Trey
I
Young
was Trae Young,
thing, it could be a Trey Young thing.
no.
I
If
don't.
I was Trae Young, I would feel very frustrated with the franchise. It's not focusing, bro. This got 10 out of 10 rage rate, bro.
Lock in.
So
What do you give
okay,
Atlanta?
based on this season alone, I feel like it's been exactly of what they've been doing last season and the season before that and the season before that. So because of their hopelessness, I'm gonna give them a.
C.
Well, they're not doing bad, yeah. So C. So
Yeah.
they're literally average, and
Yeah.
they're fine with being average. And I'm gonna give them an average grade until they can
I
show me that they
hate
can do
teams that
something
are
above
so
average.
okay with being average. I hate it.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Hawks are. Since they're okay with being average, they're kind of like the kid that just goes to school just to go to school. And what I mean by that is they wake up, they somewhat pay attention in class, they they just do their assignments half-heartedly, and then when test comes, they're okay with getting something wrong, but like they're not uber talented, they're no geniuses, they're just average, and they're okay with being average.
Yeah.
Like yeah, they're the average kid in school, and I'm gonna give you an average grade because you don't strive. Like the average kid in school won't strive for extra study time with the teachers or engage in any like extracurricular activities. They're just gonna be like, okay, well I have a C, I'm fine with that.
Is that you?
So the Atlanta Hawks, no, the Atlanta Hawks are just gonna be fine with that. So with that, I'm gonna give them a C,
Fair
and
enough.
that's average.
All right.
Okay, next one.
Orlando.
Okay,
They are
in general,
27 and 29.
I understand Orlando's been riddled with the injury bug, so I'll be a little nicer to them.
You know, this is my thing. When Paolo and Franz were injured, they were playing really well. And ever since they came back, they've slipped.
A little, but I feel like they just need some time to gel.
They were like really,
And
really good. Like I was
yeah,
like,
they
how
weren't
are
they
they winning
forced.
all these
Yeah,
games? Like, yeah,
yeah, they were staying afloat, and then Jalen Suggs went down. Jalen Suggs did, yeah, he went down, and then Franz came back,
I'm
and
pretty
then
sure they
Paolo came
like
back.
when Paolo came back, like things like started like I don't know. I think they just got like they were like in a groove and like adding those big pieces back. Like ew, on my birthday, bro, they literally lost to Portland by 30.
Not the only team to lose to Portland by 30.
Yeah. Paolo had 8 points. Nasty work.
Okay,
But yeah,
if they weren't riddled by the injury bug this season, I would be a little harsher to them and give them a C minus. But because they were, I would be a little nicer to them. I would just and give them like I'll give them a C plus. I'll give them a C plus. And the reason why I'll give them a C plus is I know what a great team they can be, and I know they have a bright future, and I know they have an elite defense. If they can lock in.
but is that
So
what this is about though? We're not basing this on potential. We're basing it on how good they've been up until the All Star break, and they've disappointed your expectations, and I know that
not that they disappointed, they were just
they are
injured, and
playing
I
better than
understand that.
expected.
But
They're
they have
playing
time.
worse than
They have
expected.
time. They have time to turn it around, which is why I'll give them a C plus.
Yeah,
I'll give them a C plus because they have time to turn it around.
yeah, fair.
Okay.
All right, Detroit.
Wait, hold up. Before we go to Detroit, let me check how long the recording is.
It's like 30 something.
30, 39.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like we're gonna have to do just the Eastern Conference this time
Mm.
because it's gonna be 2 hours if we do the Western Conference as well.
Well, that's also with your
The,
uh,
with the editing.
pauses and camera fixes. I can edit it.
Oh wait,
But yeah, Detroit
I'm gonna have to give Detroit.
an A.
What? That's kind of high. That's kind of
I mean, they
high.
were the worst team in the league, and they've just been like Cade has been really, really good, and like Malik Beasley's been really, really good, and Jalen Duren's been really, really good, and Tobias Harris has been surprisingly really, really good, and I think they would be even better if Jaden Ivey didn't go down with that injury.
Injured, yeah.
I am a really big Detroit fan. I love what they're doing over there. I love what JB Bickerstaff's been doing. It's
I
about
love the
time.
turnaround.
It's about time.
Number one, I love the turnaround, and I love where they're going,
Hmm.
and I love that they fired Monty Williams. I love it
I'm glad they got
because
a
he,
coach that actually feels like they want to be there and they want to be like the guy to
yeah, because
turn this thing around.
Monty Williams sucks as a
Yeah,
coach.
yeah.
Like he had a good year in Phoenix. He came to Detroit after he got fired from Phoenix,
Hmm.
and yeah, and then he ended up sucking in Detroit. Like it was a legendary bad coaching. Um, so I love that they hired a new coach, and I love that K took he took the superstar step up.
Hmm.
And Malik Beasley has been one of the best shooters this year,
Yeah, very, very good.
and yeah, and every player knows their role and they do their job really well. So because of that, I won't give Detroit an A.
I'm
I
gonna give them an
won't give
A.
them an A.
Very, very.
I'll give them a B plus. I
Mhm.
like that. Like they can, if they can show me that they can do this consistently and then move up the rankings a little bit and then like you know do some damage, then I'll
Yeah.
give them a B plus. I might give them an A, but
You
this B
know, the
plus
thing
is
is that Lee Beasley's been playing so well, and I'm pretty sure he's on a minimum contract, which sucks for them, and they're gonna have to, yeah, well, not a minimum, but 1 year,
close to it.
$6 million. They're gonna have to pay that man. But yeah, I give him an A.
Yeah,
So I like what they're doing over there.
I I would give them an A, but they have to show me they can do this consistently.
Fair enough.
Okay, next team.
Nope.
Actually, wait. So are we gonna do all East and West, or are we just gonna do East today?
I'll let you know when we're done with the East.
Well,
So
because now we can just do an intermission and then play a wavelength.
why don't we do the
So you have
intermission?
to.
Let's just do the intermission at the end of this. I don't.
Okay, sure.
Whatever. We'll be fine. All right, Milwaukee. Milwaukee. I don't know. Like
Milwaukee's a very old team.
the oldest in the league.
Well, yeah, I would. I mean, obviously Milwaukee's in a win now mode.
Last game they beat the Timberwolves. Nice.
Who cares about that?
I was just looking at
Those-
like I just clicked on that thing like that should pop
Hey,
up.
last game we beat the Oklahoma City Thunder.
No, you lost to the
Don't
Bucks
see the
last
Grizzlies
game.
doing that. No,
Last game
we
you
beat
lost to the Bucks.
no we beat the Thunder on Thursday. Then we lost to the Bucks on Wednesday. And keep in mind we didn't have Ant, we didn't have Julius Randle, um we
You
didn't
did
have
have Ant.
Mike Conley. No, we didn't.
Against the
I
Bucks.
watched the entire game.
Against the
Yep.
Bucks.
Nope. Wait, against the Bucks?
Yeah, Anthony Edwards played 37
Oh
minutes,
yeah,
scored
he
28
played.
points.
Oh gosh,
Yeah,
he
whatever
did
you
play.
just said is very valid. But sure.
No, we were missing somebody though.
Julius
Was it Mike
Randle.
Conley?
Julius Randle.
No, we've been missing Julius Randle for a long time. Like, bro,
Looks like everyone else played except Julius Randle. J Mac, Nas Reed, Terrence
and
Shannon,
Mike Conley
Beal.
played?
No, but
Yeah, Uncle Mike didn't play.
Uncle Mike. There's a reason he's called Uncle Mike, bro. You want to know, bro? He's probably averaging like 7 points per game.
He's been trash this season.
Yeah.
And
Anyways,
it
this
kind of
is
sucks.
Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks, yes.
They're like a B,
No, bro. What are they? The 6th seed or what?
5.
5?
But
No, bro. It's just
they are a half game behind Indiana.
they're in win now mode.
I think they are
They're
contenders.
win.
Like Dame and Giannis have like this is their best season together. I just am very skeptical on everything else.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Bucks are in win now mode, and they're not getting any younger, and without Dame and Giannis, it's sort of dysfunctional. Like I mean, obviously the whole thing falls off without the two star players. You can say that about any team.
Mhm.
So I'll give them a B minus, but I'll look at them like I'll give them a B minus begrudgingly. Like I'll look at them like with a watchful eye. Like they're sort of the Milwaukee Bucks are sort of like they could do better. I mean, and they still have time to turn it around. So
Mhm.
I'll give this B minus with the warning of like you need to step it up.
Yeah, that's fair.
And if you don't, then you're kind of cooked.
Yeah, that's fair. All
Mhm.
right, Indiana. They started off the
Okay,
season really bad, but they've been really hot lately.
yeah. As first off, Halliburton took a step down when it comes to like individual play,
At the beginning,
like
I
in
think he's
general.
playing fine now.
Yeah, he's playing good now, but I'm saying like I mean as of late, he's playing better as of late. But like overall, I'm saying he took a step down from his All Star production.
Oh yeah, he
So
has 3 less
yeah.
points, 2 less assists, less rebounds, more steals. Like it's just an overall worse year. Yeah.
So um when it comes to like record wise, last year they were the 6th seed,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, they were the 6th seed, and they surprised all of us by going to the conference finals, and it wasn't expected. I think this year they're sort of a more like well functioning team. Like they're a better functioning team now than they were last year.
Yeah, but
So with that, I mean, like look at the teams above them. Like you wouldn't expect them to surpass those teams.
yeah, I
Like
still
they're
don't think they would surpass the
probably
Bucks. Still, I don't care what happened last year. Giannis didn't play. Like
Yeah. No, like in general, I would say the Pacers are worse than the Cavs. They're worse than the Bucks. They're worse than the Celtics. They're worse than the
I would love
who are there?
I would love a 4-5 matchup or a 3-6 match. Well, that won't happen, but like Pistons Pacers would be a good series.
Mhm.
But
I don't think that.
they're not
Yeah,
gonna.
that's really unrealistic.
Yeah, because they're 4-6 right now. So
Wait, okay, okay. Could you remind me of the teams that are ahead of Indiana?
the big three, New York,
Oh,
Boston, and Cleveland.
yeah. Like I think they're kind of overperforming because I mean I know they're slightly ahead of Milwaukee, but this is around where you would expect them to be.
Yeah, I guess like
Yeah.
four through like 4 through even 9. Like 4 through 9 is like it's fairly close. Like they're all within 4 games. But then like the top three
Okay.
is like they've separated themselves. So I give
So
Indiana like a
I'll
B plus.
I'll give them a yeah. I agree with you. I'll give them a B plus as well.
B plus. I don't really. I don't know. I don't have much bad to say.
Yeah.
They're just
Me neither.
they're fairly good.
They
But I
yeah.
don't think they're
They're
contenders.
slightly
So I'm
good.
gonna say that they're not contenders. They will
I
not win.
think in this conference there's only four contenders.
Maybe four
Four can yeah.
if you
And I'm
want to
being
count the
nice.
Bucks. If you want to count the Bucks.
I'll count the Bucks because Dame and Giannis is a
Yeah.
disgusting duo.
Yeah. Just the
All right,
rest
New
is
York.
kick it up. Yeah, New York. Uh, I don't know. They're
I'll let you. I'll let
sometimes they're really good. Like sometimes they look like the best team in the East, but then sometimes they just like don't. Like
they don't.
sometimes it like
Yeah.
doesn't like some like just looking at some of their past games like they got blown out by the Lakers and then they beat like really good teams like they blew out the Grizzlies by 40. They have close games against the Nets. Like they get blown out by the Celtics. Like it's not very consistent. They're very good, but I don't know if they're good enough to mess with either of the top
Okay.
two.
New York has a culture of just like grinding every game out, play tough defense, and then leaving all of it out on the floor. This is about where I would expect them to be, New York.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
just off the talent. Yeah, and I think that they can really contend for a title if they allow their players to just gel more, like just a little more time. I think not this year, but I think next year they could really like they could they could go from like they can go from like where they are right now to like being sort of joining the elite teams because I think there's only to be honest I think there's only like 3 to 4 elite teams in the NBA.
Yeah, but
So they could really join the title contenders like versus like New York. I can see them being in the conference finals. I can see them being
hey,
in the second
if they
round.
get a little bit of luck, which every team that makes the finals needs a little bit of luck. If they get a
Every team
little
that
bit of
wins, yeah.
luck that they need, I wouldn't be surprised if they were in the finals. But
Okay, so
just
what would you give New York? What would you give New York?
a B plus.
I'll give them an A minus because I love what they did. I hate it in my heart, but what they did to trade for Cat is I mean they gave up far less than what they should have.
Yeah,
They should have given a lot more.
because I feel like
And I
Cat is much better player than what Rudy Gobert is, and like just like comparing everything that Rudy Gobert traded, like Luca got traded for less than Rudy Gobert, but that's besides the point. Like
it's
Minnesota.
not even well the situations were different. And second of all, Minnesota is also a team that I just don't want to talk about Minnesota until we get there. But New York has made really good
I
trades.
really love their starting five is really good, and I like Deuce McBride off the bench. Like they got and
Mhm.
Mitch Robinson is either coming back or he will be back fairly soon.
Yeah,
Which
you know what? I've yet to give any team in anything higher than a B plus, and it'll stay like that because I'll give New York a B plus as
yeah,
well.
I'm giving him B plus. All
I,
right,
I might change Detroit to A minus too.
yeah.
Okay, but
Now we got
okay,
Boston.
Boston,
I think they've regressed from last year. The record is
sort of
worse.
like sort of like what the Nuggets did after winning the championship the 2 years
Now
ago.
Boston is still very good.
They
I'm
did
just
re-
saying.
they did
Yeah, like I don't know what changed, but they already have as many losses now as they did all last season.
The Celtics.
Yeah, I'm not
Mhm.
exactly sure what has changed with them. Like, I don't really know if
I
Drew
see.
Holiday's
Okay,
getting
okay.
old or what it is, but
I see one of two things that could, and this is just speculation, but this whole podcast is just speculation about grading teams.
of
Okay,
course.
I feel like the Celtics overall, like last year, they had a different look in their eyes. Like seeing how they almost came back from 3-0 against Jimmy Butler in the Heat, and seeing how they were just so close, like a lot of times they were just so close. Like the Celtics were different. Like they were locked in
Hmm.
and they were hungry for a championship.
Yeah.
Like the Celtics were a team on a mission last year, and they were just so much better, and just they nobody could mess with them. This year, because they won, I feel like they kind of lost that hunger a little bit. But
Hmm.
I still like they're still very motivated, but I feel like they lost that hunger. The Celtics are an identity of like they live by the three and then they die by the three. Also, they have a really good defense,
Hmm.
and I feel like most of the time when they play, you'll see a lot of teams try to match what the Celtics do, but they don't, and then that's how they end up losing. How you
Yeah.
beat the Celtics is you do something different than the Celtics aren't expecting it, and then that's how they lose. More editing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're fine for now. But yeah.
Um, so I do feel like they lost that hunger. But also I feel like they've gotten like Joe Mazzulla was like he was like okay, well, we want to lose a little more games just so like we can get a fire lighted under us to be more motivated. I feel like in the playoffs it'll be like they'll get whipped back into shape, and for that I'll give the Celtics an A-, because I'm not really worried about them losing so many games. I'm
Um.
like they'll still comfortably make the playoffs, and I think as of right now they're probably my pick to win the championship.
I'll give them again. I'll give it out another B plus. I mean, the dominance that they
Uh,
had last season, I just feel like they should continue to do that. They have the best roster in basketball, I would say, and they're not really playing like it. Like, I just expected more.
do
Which
you think that's because
I wish Boston was lower. Like, I don't like Boston at all, but like I just expected them to play better than they
nobody
are.
likes Boston except for Boston fans?
Yeah. So
Okay,
I'll just
now
give them
with
B
that, do
plus.
you do you think that they've lost their fire because of like no, I mean, do you think that they're doing worse because they lost the motivation a little bit? Like you think that contributes to it?
I just don't think their play style is like what they did last year was like they literally like what you said. They literally live and die by 3 pointers. Like they shoot an absurd
And they
amount.
still do that this year. They
Yeah,
still do that this
and I feel like it's just not working as well. Like their little
I,
scheme, I think eventually it's gonna die out, and they're gonna have to change it up a little bit. Cause
they
teams
have the players to change it up.
like the Timberwolves, like Anthony Edwards took it upon himself to
Oh,
shoot a lot of
you're saying something
threes.
good.
Yeah,
I thought you were about to. Okay, okay.
yeah, like teams are realizing like that's how you win games. I mean, Boston won a championship doing it, so everyone's doing it.
I
They
I
gotta
feel
do
like I
something.
feel like there's no team that can out Celtics the
Of
Celtics.
course, but like I just expected better, and they're not playing like they did last year. So I give them B plus.
Okay, not bad. Okay,
Finally,
Cleveland.
in the East,
Yeah, is
Cleveland.
the this is the obvious A plus.
Yeah, no
A
one
plus plus
expected
plus
this.
plus
No one
plus. Yeah.
expected them to be as
I mean, we
dominant as
expected
they've
them to
been.
be good, but
Not
this good?
dominant. Like
Yeah, no,
five and a
absolutely
half
not.
games better than Boston.
And I feel like they have a really good roster on paper,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're playing like it.
They are.
Like,
Yeah.
think about it. Thinking about it. You have Donovan Mitchell, who's an elite scorer and like a star, like a superstar type player. Then
Mm-hmm.
you have like Darius Garland, who can score, who can play make with the best of them. Then you got Jared Allen, who can rebound, can defend in the paint a little bit, can score. Then you got Evan Mobley, who's a great rising star, like all star. Um, defender, elite defender who can also shoot. Now and then now you added a piece like DeAndre Hunter who has been playing amazingly this season.
career.
Was Yeah, career year. He's averaging what 19 points a game.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, that shirt off, but
Yeah, of course when you're playing with such superstars
hmm
like yeah, like the others. So not to say that's a bad thing that if it does drop off, but if he continues like this sort of output that he's doing, then I really feel like that's really the best starting line in the league, is
yeah,
it not?
really, it's very, very good. I
Hmm.
mean,
So
the
I'll
only
give him
gripe is that their backcourt's a little bit small, but like compared to the
their
Celtics,
bad.
who have like Drew
They have a
Holiday and Derek White, who
uh,
are bigger, stronger defensive guards, but like that's why they haven't like dominated Boston this year. But other than that, they have a very good roster.
So this is my easy A plus.
Even
I have
last year,
no
I thought
gripe
they had a
with this
really
one.
good roster, but like upgrading from Isaac Okoro to DeAndre Hunter is like nice, and you didn't have to give up Isaac Okoro. I like Isaac Okoro too. So
Hmm. Okay. I think I'm fine with my rankings except for Detroit. I kind of feel bad for giving them a B plus. I would say because what are they were they the one, two, three, four,
the
five? They
sixth
were the
seed,
sixth
but
seed.
like they're like one game behind
Yeah, they're
the four seed.
yeah, it's really competitive. So
Yeah,
I would give you know what I'll give Detroit an A minus. I'll give Detroit an A minus.
I give him an
Yeah, I was this close to giving them an A.
A. Hmm.
I feel like it's kind of disrespectful for them to to be in the B range when they're overperforming and such.
Yeah.
Um, I don't shouldn't be so. I'm kind of thinking about moving Orlando to B minus anyways.
Hmm.
I just feel like I'm harsh on them, but I would keep it at a C plus. Overall, I think I'm fine with with my grades.
Yeah. I have no
Okay,
gripes.
all
Yep.
right, time for all right. We're gonna be segmenting away from talking about grading teams to segment to another segment, wavelength. I'm pretty sure we know how wavelength is. Seen it on TikTok a lot,
Hmm.
so why not try it? Okay, you want to go first or should I go first?
You can go first.
Okay. So, am I gonna ask you like what like am I
You have the
gonna ask
number.
you? Okay, okay, I have the number. Okay. All right, give me a topic. I'm thinking of a number. Guess from 1 to 10.
Um. Wait. You're thinking. Wait.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a
You
number.
have your number.
Yeah, I have my
Okay.
number.
Okay. So give me an NBA team.
New York, the Knicks.
Hmm. Okay. I got a number. I got a number. Okay. Give me someone's handle.
Steph Curry this year.
This
This year,
year.
Steph Curry. You
Okay. I
tell
don't
me.
think my number's changed. Now give me someone's shooting ability.
Damn. Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. My number still sticks.
6?
No, my number still sticks.
Oh, okay. So
Eight.
what's your guess? There we go.
Eight.
There we go.
Eight. Yeah.
All right. My turn. My turn. Okay. So you're thinking of a number. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me an interior defender. And like you know what I mean? Like how good a player is at
Yeah.
interior?
Mm, give me Walker Kessler.
Oh, so good, but not the best. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Give me a team's performance in like the 2010 era, like from 2010 to 2020.
Mm,
I need like a
that's really
7, man.
hard to think about.
I mean, so far I'm thinking like a 7, like maybe an 8.
Give me the Spurs.
Okay, they won a championship. Um, right? Yeah, they wait. I'm trying to think. Did they only win one? Yeah, they did only win one championship, and they've gotten really far on a lot of the team. I would say, okay, 10 Warriors, 9 Cavs, 8 um honestly, it could be something like the Spurs or like maybe I don't know, like Spurs. It's kind of a it's I'm hovering between a 6, 7, or an 8, and I'm leaning more towards 8. Give me okay, give me an individual dunker like all time. Doesn't have to be present. Just give me someone how a dunker.
Anthony Edwards.
Oh, what? Are you trying to say a 10?
I
You
wouldn't say
trying to you? I'm very confused. Okay, because you said okay. Here's what I'm thinking. You said Walker Kessler for interior defense. Okay, I'm
is
saying
he a bad interior defender?
not at all, but he's not the best. Like if you would have said someone like Wemby, then that would have been like okay,
That would be
like
like
you're
10.
thinking really yeah. Okay, and then you said the Spurs in their 2010s era. And that's like okay, well, it's not the Warriors and the Cavs, but they were competitive for a lot and they were the best, like one of the best teams
Mm-hmm.
like throughout the whole decade. And then you said Anthony Edwards. That kind of throws me off.
Tell me.
I know
I mean, I'm
maybe I'm
trying to
glazing
base it
them.
off your past answers. I'm trying to. I don't know.
Damn, like okay, I'm leaning towards an 8.
Is that your answer?
No, 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 no. Okay, I would give Edwards realistically, I would give Edwards a 9. I would give the Spurs an 8, and I would give Walker Kessler a 7. So I'm gonna just average it out and say 8. It's not
No.
what 7
9.
or 9?
Bro, Walker
9.
Kessler is very good at defense, and like I feel like the
Bro,
Spurs
come
will.
on, bro. He's not. He's
Bro, the
not among the
Cavs.
very
You
best.
said the Warriors are 10 and the Cavs were 9. I feel like the Cavs are also 10. Like I was trying to
I
think of
mean,
a team throughout the 2010s that was like really good, but like not like.
okay.
And then Anthony
I don't
Edwards
think
is like
the Cavs are
he's a
at
really
10.
good
I don't
dunker,
think.
but like
I don't think the Cavs are at 10 is because if we're talking about the okay, because they made a championship and they won the championship in 2015, 2016. They made the finals 2015 and then 2017 and 18, but then they lost like like they stood no chance in 17 and 18. They stood a chance in 2015, but LeBron got injured.
okay,
Kyrie got
so then
injured.
your logic, if the Cavs were 10, if the
So
Cavs
that's
are
why I say they were
9,
9.
then wouldn't the Spurs be better because they were just better for longer?
I would say they're kind of equivalent because they still only won one championship, but they were more competitive in those than the Cavs were.
Yeah.
Because
So that's why I said the
the
Spurs. I
Cavs were
didn't say the Cavs. I said the Spurs. That
I
was your
would
own
I
head.
would or like maybe you should have said the Heat because then the Heat won 2 championships out of 4, and plus they were like in the later part of the 2010s. They no,
And the Heat are still good. Like the Heat are like, I mean, I
yeah,
could have said the Heat, but
nah.
I feel like
I feel like the
the
Heat
Spurs are just
overall,
like
I give them an
the
8.
Spurs have been really good. Like you can debate that the Spurs were a 9 out of 10 throughout the 2010s.
Yeah, you really could.
Yeah.
Walker Kessler threw me off a little bit.
Well, I didn't want to give you the best defender. Then you would have thought it was 10. Like if I would have said like Rudy or Vic or someone like that.
Rudy's a 9. Like I would have been like if you said Rudy, I would have been like 9 because
Well, he
if you
went deep
said Vic
twice. So if I said interior, he's like
or like if you said Trey J or like
Walker
Evan
Kessler's
Mobley.
a
I mean Evan
really
Mobley is
good.
not.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's maybe one I
he's really
overthought.
good. I would say 7, 8
Maybe it's just
for
my boy
Walker.
Chet.